No, no, last time this is Tinker.
What's up, everybody? Want to be real with you guys? I don't know a lot about cameras. The only lighting I have to worry about is what direction it's coming from, so I know where to draw the shadows. Guys, we hit a pretty big milestone today. This was a long time coming, but as of today, I hit 21 years of age. It's my birthday. Now I can drink, finally. Don't tell the cops that I filmed this before my birthday. Georgie, you're like breathing heavily and you're like really close to the microphone. Is that, can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear my dog breathing? It's fun. It's fun. Oh, also it's Mother's Day. Howdy Mother's Day. You're not a mother. You know, I was watching some of my old videos back when I had about 100K, and all I can think is that first 100,000, you had low standards. Some of you might be new here and you're probably thinking, James, what's going on? Well, every time this channel hits a subscriber milestone, I like to get a cake and put on sprinkles equal to the number of how many subscribers we have. So, a lot of sprinkles. I didn't do one for 2 million because I was lazy. Now you might be thinking, James, how are you going to count 3 million sprinkles? Here's the thing, I'm not. What I did is I weighed a certain amount of sprinkles, and then I used math to calculate how many more sprinkles that I needed. The last time I did this, I only counted 200 sprinkles. So, using that small sample size, my math might have been a little off, but this time I counted 3,000 sprinkles. So I weighed 3,000 sprinkles, I multiplied that weight by another 1,000 to get 3 million, and I got that 3 million sprinkles equal to 210 pounds. You know, I just wish at least once I'd be able to enjoy this cake and not have to destroy it with sprinkles. It's gotta be a world record, right? Most sprinkles owned by a YouTuber in Arizona. So all these sprinkles I have weigh more than me. So let's just get started. We're gonna need a bigger pool. Like what? One person, just about, and then give or take all the ones that we spilled or I spit out. This was a good day. Like there were all these. Remember that meme? The still a meme? Is that still relevant? To be or not to be? That is the question. I hope this isn't the video I show the doctors when I'm in the hospital.
This oh my god.
Oh my god! Hold on, Jake. Oh.
Now the sprinkles are on the cake. I can't take this off. I cannot take this off. Help me. Okay, I can just do that. So my friend Foot of a Ferret Writer made a brief history episode of yours truly, and you should check it out because it's nice, and I drew some of the pictures, and I think it's pretty fitting for a subscriber milestone video. It's really interesting to see where I came from and what I've done to get all of this. What did I get? 5 years ago today, I got a $100 bamboo tablet for my 16th birthday. And that was the start of me uploading content on the internet. It took me like a month to upload my first comic, but whatever. 5 years might seem like a long time, but to me, it feels like I'm just starting. I made this comic back in 2013, and it says, "Thanks for 2 million followers." And then it has a person saying, "That's what I'll say when I get 2 million followers." I think I made it because I was just feeling bitter or something. It was like, "Ooh, no one's reading my stuff. Stupid." Now, here I am, surpassed 2 million. And all I have to say to that is, thanks for 3 million followers. So, here's to another year. Another million, I should say. I'm not going to do another subscriber special. I mean, once you've seen 3 million sprinkles, 4 million isn't that. 10 million. That'll be the next subscriber special. 10 million. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for letting me be able to do what I love every day. And I wouldn't be here without you. I'd probably still be in college doing math homework. Okay, enough with this cheese. Let's cut the cheese. Let's get this the cheese cut. Let's get it out of here. Cut the cheese means fart. And, of course, wear your seatbelt. I got the sandwich! Oh, I put it on a...
This is Paul's Dream Garage. Their own Dream Garage. Lease a well-equipped CRV LX for $76 weekly at 2.99%.
Hello and welcome to another episode of A Brief History. Today's episode, The Odd Ones Out. Ready, set, go. May 14th, 2012. After spending much of his childhood drawing and creating comic strips for fun, aspiring cartoonist James No Last Name receives a computer drawing tablet for his 16th birthday. And with this gift, James decided to take his comic hobby to the next level, now aiming to create his very own webcomic series. And following a whole month of drafting it up, James posted his very first webcomic to Tumblr on June 14th, 2012. This comic was to be the first in a series called The Odd Ones Out, and was planned to feature an entire cast of characters, including Justin, Jake, and Kevin. James, you are knocking it out of the park with these character names, buddy. I can definitely remember who's who. You've got Josh. James continued making comic strips of The Odd Ones Out as regularly as he could, but struggled to find readers. On top of this, James was also looking to revamp and improve his art style. He started out small, simply adding next to his characters and changing up how he shaded them, and he stuck with this style for a few months. But unfortunately, as 2012 came to an end, James was experiencing a severe drop in motivation. That December, James could only force himself to make one comic, and everything else he posted around that time were mainly pieces of art that saw him continuing to experiment with his style and abilities. But after a few more subtle art style tweaks throughout early 2013, James decided to take a step back and create a new style from the ground up. And these efforts culminated in this comic from April of 2013. Taking inspiration from the likes of Loading Artist and Domix, James ditched the Odd Ones Out cast and began drawing his comics to feature these simple bubble characters. But it wasn't just his art style that was evolving. James's comics around this time were just improving overall, and his numbers began to reflect this. His Tumblr surpassed 100 followers in October of 2013, a few of his comics were picking up large amounts of traction, and from this point forward, the Odd Ones Out Tumblr was growing at a pretty healthy rate. Now, webcomics weren't the only thing that James was interested in. While drawing his comics, James would often watch a lot of YouTube videos. And one day he just said to himself,
Oh hey, I could probably do this. I mean, it can't be that hard, right? Right?
yeah, you're on your own, buddy.
Wait, who said that?
Oh, you don't know me yet, but word of advice. There's this guy you're gonna come across in the next few...
Imagine you're walking down a street. It's a street you know well. Maybe when you walk down...
Yo, what's up? America just legalized gay marriage. That's awesome. Hell yeah, I'm so proud. You should be. That's what I'm talking about. Red, white, and blue, okay? America the great. America. Oh, say, can you see?
Enjoy your moment.
Yo, Canada should take notes, eh? We legalized gay marriage 11 years ago. Yo, what if Trump becomes president. If you're having present problems after that, you son, I got 99 problems and the leader ain't one. Oh my god, this is like the best thing I've ever eaten. Aww. Clearly you haven't tried poutine yet. Hey, say about. About. No, you say a boot. No one says a boot, it's about. A boot? A boot? Say a boot, come on. About. Say a boot. Say a boot. Say a boot. Say sorry. You say words so weird. Yeah, okay, fine. Do I say these words weird? Free healthcare. Is that weird? Canada, right? Oh, you know, Drake put you guys on the map. And The Weeknd, Jim Carrey, Celine Dion, Seth Rogen, Ryan Gosling, he's Canadian. Shane Mitchell, Shawn Mendes, she's Canadian. Ryan Reynolds, you know, Alessia Cara. Really? Mike Myers, Terry Fox, and Justin Bieber. You're American, right? Actually, I'm from Canada. Same thing. No, don't be ridiculous. We have Tim Hortons. Dude, we have the best parties in our fraternities, though. Beta Phi Pi Delta. Damn. Yeah, we can drink when we're 19. 18 if you want to take a road trip. Canada and sports don't go together. Like baseball and basketball. Psh. Yeah, we invented those. We banned Kinder Surprise because it's not safe. Really? Oh, we didn't do that. Yeah. We banned guns. Why do you Canadians say sorry for everything? It's so annoying. I know. We have to keep apologizing to the rest of the world for our loud neighbors. You know, growing up, Mr. Rogers was... No, shh. Mr. Dress Up for Life. Mr. Dress. Your money looks like Monopoly money. It's so funny and colorful. Yep, colorful. COLOURFUL. Color. Did you watch Game of Thrones? Winter is finally here. Winter was always here. Canadians are so polite and boring. What do you do for fun? Follow your election. We prayed for people trying to escape war. We let them into our country. Yo, why do all Canadians live in igloos? We need to keep cool. Because our prime minister is so hot. I mean, at this point, it's either Hillary or Trump. What do you Canadians think?
Pickles on an important paper. What are you looking at? Thank you.
Ambushing.
also be studying for the test? Well, you see, Frederick, due to my high levels of apathy and the stress of knowing that I'll never be good at math, I've decided to completely give up on even trying to do good on the test. So, what are you gonna do instead? Oh, I'm just gonna go watch some YouTube videos. School sucks, especially math. Ugh. When will I ever use geometry/trigonometry/calculus in the real world? I think you're only saying that. Hey, England! For the entirety of this video, I'm gonna be calling this sport football and this sport soccer, okay? Oh, blimey, mate, we got a cheeky bugger here. We do. Well, pip pop cheerio, hope a stiffy wing shanakas, God save the queen. What did I just say? So, the theme of this video, sports. Either you love them, or you hate them. Or you have some other third opinion. Growing up, my family was never big on sports. We never watched any games on the telly. Sorry, I still got some British in me. And me and my dad never went out and played catch. He also never taught me how to shave. He was gone a lot. He always talked about Heather. Okay, but I did play soccer for a couple years when I was like 7. I was on the green team. Sports at that age aren't even like sports. It's just parents wanting you to go outside more. Being a goalie on a soccer team when you're that age is super stressful. The whole team is counting on you. Even stopping a ball that's gently rolled towards you is difficult. One time the other team we were playing was so sucky that all the players spent the whole game on their half of the field. And I was the goalie for my team, and I remember just sitting down and picking at the grass. Soccer was the only sport that I've been on a team for. Well, I mean, I'm not counting the track team that I was on for only 2 days. There was this kid I mentioned a long time ago in my Boy Scout video named Micah. Now, he was a soccer fanatic. I wonder what he's doing. Okay, England, we have this holiday called Thanksgiving. We celebrate it because it's when we left your lame country. Don't ask what we did next. So on Thanksgiving, for some reason, it's a tradition to play football before you go and eat food. So while the ladies stay inside and cook the meal, the men go outside and throw the food together. I'm just kidding, guys. Not a sexist. But I mean, that is what happens. So one time during Thanksgiving, I was a little kid, like 11 or 12, and I was playing football with my dad and his other 40-year-old friends. So me being the littlest, I wasn't particularly the best player, but while we were playing, I freaking caught the ball. I caught it! And then I just started booking it across the field. I probably never ran so quickly in my entire life. And I actually made it. I scored a home run. What? And that, to me, was such a pivotal point in my life. I felt so accomplished. Me, a little kid, scored a goal against a bunch of adults. I would think back to it if I was ever feeling sad. Like, oh, I failed this math test, but one time I scored a basket against a bunch of adults when I was 12. But I remember I was a senior in high school, and I was just driving, and then the thought came to me, they probably let me score that touchdown. They were going easy on me. Man, growing up sucks. I was never all that competitive as a child. Well, okay, I was never competitive when it came to sports. It's just a game, guys. We're supposed to have fun. Winning's not that important. Sports are good at that age, though. They promote physical activity, you can make friends, you might like the sport and want to pursue it more, and it's not a big deal if you suck. I'm totally making my future kid play a sport. That is, if I have kids. What if I die alone? People make the comparison that some people watch gaming channels for the same reason that others watch sports. You're watching someone play a video game? Why do you watch someone play when you can just go to the computer and play it yourself? Now replace the word video game with sport and outside with computer, and it's the same thing. Loading Artist made a very good comic about this point I'm trying to make. I'll just read it. What are you doing? Watching this guy play a game. It's pretty funny. Wait, so you aren't even playing? Yeesh, what a waste of time. And then he goes and watches a sports game. Man, Loading Artist is so much cooler than me. I've said this before, but he was such a big inspiration to me when I was first starting out. I just wanted to say that again. Go read all of his comics right now. I just want to say it's fine if you watch sports. Granted, I won't watch them with you because they're incredibly boring. You want to know why gaming channels work? It's because they play different games. Even Captain Sparkles, who mostly plays Minecraft and also who I love, by the way. And I did buy a t-shirt to prove my point, but it's still in the mail. See, look, I bought a t-shirt and I bought sunglasses right here. So I just want to give a big shout out to themakershop.com, who's taking a million years to ship me my Captain Sparkles shirt. It was going to be so cool. I was going to say, I bought a t-shirt to prove my point. And then I was going to flick the sunglasses that I also bought down. Notice me, senpai. This email says it's going to take 3 to 7 business days to ship. Well, yesterday was the 13th business day. So what is it, Jordan? 7 or 13? So I bought this just so I have something physical to show my love for Captain Sparkles. I've been watching all the videos. Oh, he's changed it. But the point is, he changes around the format and the rules of his Let's Plays, with all the different maps he plays. It's different for every video, even his role-playing ones, which I'm still waiting for part 5 to come out. Like, imagine if there was a gaming channel that only played the first Super Mario game. It might be fun to watch at first, especially if they're good at playing the game, and it might be fun to watch how other people play it and see what they do. But for 50 years? Don't you think that would get a little boring after a while? I mean, only so much can happen, and that's what I think sports is like sometimes. It's the same game.
Sports and I don't really get along. Well, at least in the 2nd grade. I was very accident prone as a kid. No matter what game was being played, I knew I was gonna get hit in the head with the ball. It didn't even matter if I was playing or not. I used to brace myself for impact before going out to the playground because going outside usually went something like this. It happened so often that it just became a joke to me. It got to a point where this one time I bet my friends $5 that a ball nearby would hit me in the next 2 minutes. I knew that no matter what, it was inevitable. We were a good distance away from the game, so chances were pretty slim. Okay, sure. Sorry, that's not possible. Just watch. Needless to say, I won that day. The nurse, however, got tired of seeing me every day.
This kid again. What are you in for this time?
A ball hit me.
That was yesterday's excuse. Go back to class. You're fine.
She assumed I was faking it, and I don't blame her, honestly. If someone kept coming into the nurse's office every day with the same excuse, I'd probably get suspicious too. It's not like I wanted to get hurt. Sometimes I think maybe someone was just trying to hit me on purpose because it stopped like after a month, but I'll never know for sure. I made sure that if I ever saw another game in progress that I would just instantly get out of there. Sports were never really my thing. While other kids were joining sports teams, I was busy drawing dragons and making comic books. I just wasn't really...
Same rules, over and over. Science fair. I was talking to a friend saying, oh, I know, I can do a video about the science fair and, talk about how much it sucks. And she said, oh, at my school, we didn't do the science fair. That got me wondering, did other people not do the science fair? So I did my own science experiment on Twitter. I ran a poll and asked you guys if you even did the science fair and whether or not you enjoyed doing it. And 58% of you said you didn't have to do the science fair. Like, that was way more than I expected. That's the majority. I've renamed this group of people the lucky ones. And when I asked if you enjoyed doing it, 21% of you said you did enjoy it, and 21% of you said you didn't. I know Twitter polls aren't the most accurate sources of data, but I think it's safe to say that this is a pretty split issue. Now, I'm in the 21% of people who didn't enjoy the science fair. And don't get me wrong, I love science. Well, okay, that might not be true. I really hated biology. Chemistry, that was just a mess. But physics was okay. Maybe I don't like science. I just like space and watching these. Phil and Neil, they're my buddies. Except Neil did hurt my feelings one time. We'll get back to that later. Alright, so let me briefly go over what the science fair is for you lucky ones who didn't have to deal with that. Apparently, it's a very American thing, right guys?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Basically, we started doing them, I want to say around 4th grade, and we would do this every year up until the 10th grade. The whole class would spend all day researching a topic that interests them, and then we would have to come up with a question that we could run an experiment on. An example of these questions are, does the temperature of a battery affect how long it will last? What color light produces the most heat? How does the shape of a rocket's fins affect its travel? All of which are projects I did. Basically, this was supposed to teach you about the scientific method, but what it really did was teach us how to procrastinate and make up data. And on paper, you might think, oh, that sounds like fun. I wish my school did the science fair. No! Here are some flaws with the science fair. First, you got the option to work with a partner. And of course you want to work with a partner so you can split up the work and not do as much. Now, since I didn't have any friends, I would partner up with someone that no one else wanted to partner up with. But they wouldn't do any of the work. I only did the science fair with a partner once. From 5th grade on, I did my science fair projects alone.
The second problem is that we had to come up with a question all on our own. And you gotta understand, we were just kids. We don't think as cognitively as scientists do, okay? Just a couple years ago, we still believed in Santa Claus. Except for me, my family didn't do Santa Claus. And now you want us to wonder if the ratio of a cylinder will affect its buoyancy? Like, come on. And also, we don't have access to any resources. You know, the science fair is a lot like an episode of Mythbusters. But what sets apart the Mythbusters from your average 4th grader is that they're really smart engineers who have access to explosives, while we can't even drive to Walmart ourselves. We have to ask our parents to take us. One year, I wanted to do an experiment on a certain type of soil, so I did research, I wrote everything all up, but then when I went to Home Depot to buy the soil, they didn't even have it! So I had to pick a new topic and start all over again. Now do you see why I think the science fair sucks? So okay, I think it would have been better in elementary school if we were assigned a question. I know the whole point of these things is about discovery, but we're all stupid, okay? I guess if you're anything like me and you chose a crappy question, you'll have a bad science fair. My very first science fair, after all day researching possible questions, me and my partner came up with a question: what time of the day is the hottest? Now, I already know the answer to this question, and in 4th grade, I'm sure I already knew the answer to this question too. It's noon. Like, I don't need to run an experiment on that. In fact, I can just go to Google and seriously just type weather, and boom, there's my data right there. No need for an experiment. But the science fair isn't just finding the answer to your question. No. First, after you research the topic, you have to write a hypothesis. A hypothesis is basically you guessing what you think the result of the experiment will be, but you don't write it down as I think this will happen. No, you write it like you know what's going to happen. A formula in science for a perfect hypothesis is if blank then blank because blank. Let's use my battery experiment. I said, does the temperature of a battery affect how long it will last? So after doing research about how batteries work, a hypothesis for this experiment would be, if 2 AA batteries are used at different temperatures, then the battery in the hot temperature will not last as long because the battery's fluid will evaporate, which damages the internal structure of the battery. Oh, and spoiler alert, no, it doesn't. I put 2 batteries outside, 2 in the freezer, I let them sit, and then I plugged them into my Game Boy Advance, and they lasted the exact same amount of time. I learned nothing. So you also have to write up the materials you use for the experiment, then you have to write up the steps to do the experiment, the procedures, and you also have to write an introduction, basically just bullcrapping what you're going to do. Then you do the experiment, aka the fun part. Make sure you write down your results because you have to make a graph. You have to. How do you make a graph to show that batteries at different temperatures lasted the same amount of time? They did. You think you're done, right? But no, you gotta write up the results as if your graph didn't already perfectly depict that, and a conclusion. The conclusion is like the most insulting part of the science fair. You basically go through this checklist of questions that you answer. Was your hypothesis correct?
Oh
No,
my
my
God.
hypothesis was
Freaking
not correct.
90-meter
What
pistol
mistakes could you
kill.
have made in your experiment? I don't know. Maybe I took the batteries out of the cold and hot and put them in a room temperature Game Boy, and in a couple of minutes they both went to a room temperature. I don't know. How can others use this information you found? What do you mean? All the batteries lasted the same. I don't think anyone is going to put their batteries in their freezer to have literally no effect. Alright, and then you take everything you wrote, print it out, and then slap it onto a poster board. And everyone, and I mean everyone, would use construction paper as a border around the text to give the poster board a good aesthetic. I think the second most fun part of the science fair was choosing what word art font you would use for your title. Oh, and by the way, the teachers told us to have a creative title.
I'm done watching videos. So I can get copyright for watching videos. I'm sorry, because I may have put that. I'll pistol you too if you want. Oh my god, he wants it. Get there. Oh my god. 51 meter pistol kill. No, I'm keeping these pistols. Pistols been good luck. Good luck, I tell ya. I'm also trying to do a challenge for people that don't know. The challenge is the... what's it called? Called the Ninja Challenge. Designed to get like surprise pistol kills. Excuse me. But 90-meter pistol kill is pretty sweet. I'm also looking forward to doing something called the John Wick Challenge, which I'm pretty sure is pretty straightforward after dressing up as John Wick. But join the live stream tomorrow because I'm going to upload this no matter how good I do. Maybe they'll clip it and upload it. But my upload from earlier, you know what? I'm going to check my YouTube channel. Let's check how I'm doing so far. Sorry for at the beginning of the video how I was watching YouTube. I really hope I do not get copyright for it. Let's go to, if I click on that and go to my channel. How many subscribers? 32, guys. I want to hit, for all you people that don't know, I want to hit 50 subscribers by June. If we do that, the challenge will happen. If I get my 10th win, extra Fortnite live stream. And I'll do requested challenges on it. So guys, get more subscribers. This is what you use for the drama challenge. Basically, a hand cannon, and I'm gonna try to get 5 kills with it. You know what? I'm uploading at like 1 AM. But still, who cares? Because I'm not tired. It is currently 1:13 AM. I'm at 32 subscribers. 32. But for all the people that don't know, I'm a YouTuber, as you guys can see, because you're on my YouTube channel. I'm a second YouTuber that live streams, and he sucks at Fortnite. Quick summary of me. Why am I trying to break that? See, I'm a dum-dum. I don't even know what to do. Oh my god, this is quite wrong. So over there, okay, I'll remember that. I'm over here. I'm going to here quick. I need to talk louder and go closer. Holy crap, my first... Where's that butthole? Who cares? I'll eventually find him. What is this? What is life? Oh, he's up there. Yes, I was right. Stop running. Goodbye. It was him. Well, I'm just gonna drink this. Nose is itchy. Ready? Scope it out. Oh no. It's a legendary. Wait, can I switch it by shooting it? Oh my god. I must have fell and it scared me. I don't know what that guy was even trying to do. Holy crap, it's late. $500 for legendary sniper. Deal. Crap. My plans have been foiled. Alright. Probably people that didn't catch on to what I was going to do. Heard footsteps? This is also a strategy I have. I hide under a truck. Doesn't look. and get 500 wood. I want that legendary star. Break this last tree probably. Yep. Don't worry, I will be able to get my materials back. If for some reason you hear any like yay, I'll be right back, guys. Please don't catch that music. There's music playing right now and I'm really struggling. Grab a little bit more wood. Why does it have to be so loud? Oh god, I'm dizzy. Perfect. 3 kills, leaving tomato. But I can't believe I got that 90-meter pistol kill. Like freaking pew pew. Oh, right now I'm gonna be praying that won't catch it in. No, I don't want to go far. I want my hand cannon. Oh my god, turn it down, please. Ooh, supply drop. I'm gonna hit that on my way there because it's got 10 minutes. Oh my god. Someone just did the supply drop. Please turn off the music. There he is. Look, dude. No storm. I never did anything to you. Storm? Confirm once I get into the circle. Hopefully I won't get seen. Headshot him. Someone poke again. Yeah, exactly. I'm done. Oh god. Maybe just make yourself an easier grenade launcher. Oh my god, I killed him! Guys, let's party. Let's go, boys! That's why they watch. Like straight in that one. Just went bloop, and we died. There's probably still stuff up there, so I'm gonna go check. I'm sorry! How high? Nope, that's everything. I just half gave away my position, but I also just didn't, because it just moved. Oh my god. No, you're not going there. Get away. That's right. Oh, is that the sniper? Like pizza? Me too. Good for you. Oh my god, he's right there.